All right. I'm not sure. Am I too late? Is nobody up anymore? Sigh. Sing? Okay, hi. Welcome, people. Welcome, welcome. So, what better way? Howdy doody. What's happening, people? Thank you for showing up. Clutched and Pearls is on. Wow, how exciting. Hi, Toodles. Yes, Rob, I saw the post. Callie Gibson messaged me when it happened. And she done an absolutely amazing job, people. Absolutely. To say that Callie gotten under his skin would be a complete understatement. So for those of you who haven't had a chance to see it today, I will actually go straight to this and show you how Daniel Martel really, really didn't like what she had to say. And I see the pattern again. I see the pattern where he thinks he is on the up and coming. He feels like he won when they published the article about with the court documents and the redactions and everything. Daniel feels like, okay, cool. The same way in the beginning when he was when he passed the 4 questions they asked him in the polygraph. So I am not going to say Daniel Martel passed the polygraph. That is misleading in my opinion. What I will state is that there are 4 questions that I believe were absolutely wrong and not the right questions to ask him. He passed on those. So they officially said he passed the polygraph. They said Daniel Martel passed the polygraph. And remember, all of a sudden, he shows up in interviews and he goes on the attack towards people who still don't believe him because he feels like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Oh my God. Because when he heard that news, he thought, finally, it's over. Nobody will think I did it. Nobody will accuse me. And it was a shock to him. And after that, Logan came on. And she also kept saying he passed the polygraph because it bothered him that A, police told him that, but B, it didn't make a damn difference. We don't believe him. And that was exactly why he suddenly feels a boost in confidence. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Okay. I don't know. I don't understand if the Kimberly Whittaker, thank you so much for showing up. I saw some of your comments in that group. I looked through my group. Sorry, not my group, the uncensored one on Facebook. Yeah, I'm in there now. I even asked a question. I saw that you and this Lilly Jack account. By the way, let me show you some on that too. Lilly Jack, right? This is the account where are we? La 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 la. This one. even commented on my last video. And of course, their fake name, Lilly Jack, starts with an L. But remember what I said before, I think it's Logan. I'm pretty sure it's Logan. I haven't finished my anonymous author analysis, but there's an L right there. There's an image with the initial. The language pattern of that Lilly Jack account matches that of Logan. And I have seen plenty of comments from Logan. And Kimberly Whittaker knows that. I also seen a comment from the Lilly Jack account on when somebody posted one of my videos. What a surprise. This person felt the need to say something about me when my account or my video was shared. And I'm not surprised by that. Not at all, Pippa. Jeez, where is it? 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 Anyways, should we go to Big Island first? The image I am showing you guys right now is from Big Island. Wait. Where we at? But first I want to show you this. This property in Egerton belongs to Justin Martell. It is co-owned by somebody else who is also friends with Adam and Chance and all of them, right? So where is Egerton? I know I'm jumping around, but yesterday I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. Egerton is right here. And it's 15 minutes from Big Island Beach. Now, I am not saying that he went to Big Island Beach that night. But those of you who stated that it seems to be a little bit too far away, he could have made a stop somewhere. Somebody could have given him gas. He could have stopped at Westville or New Glasgow area in general and seen one of the pipeline boys. He could have stopped by his brother's house. Not very far. And what I'm looking at, and I'm going back to Kim, not you, Kimberly, but Kim from South Africa. I'm going to go back into her comment about Lacey Peterson. Yes, couldn't even spell Lilly correctly. Oh, didn't Logan also, in writing later on, still keep spelling Lilly with one L only? I'm remembering this now. I think I remember. I am not 100% on that. I'm not sure. I thought that's what I remember. There's so much stuff that I have to recall at this point in time. And, well, yes, she has been in the habit. And you know what? Because that also indicates to me that, you know, when you misspell somebody's name, that's often an indicator that you really couldn't care less about that person, right? Except if it's a name like mine. that most people misspell. But surprisingly, you guys, no, I have not seen a misspell here. I'm used to it, you know what I mean? Even high school friends, when they contact me and are you the Mike, the man we went to school with? Some of them even misspell my name. So, you know, for me, it's a different thing. But everybody's waking up to how Lilly is being spelled. But she keeps spelling it with one L because she could not care less. It can show disrespect. It can show such a high level of indifference. Like, who gives a crap? Thank goodness they are gone. So Big Island Beach stuck out to me. Also because of the international sea. So when the tides would have to carry something out right here, all the way there. And opening is big enough. Recede. The big ocean. This is the Northumberland Strait right here. And it would make sense, in a sense. Not down here, but up here. Close to the wide ocean, people. That's what I would think Daniel would pick that spot. And I wanted to show you something about Lacey Peterson, where she was found. And I just had to look it up. It is Point Isabel shorelines in the Bay Area. Point Isabel shorelines. It's right here. Can you see this? How about a better image? I took all the time anyways. Here we go. I believe Scott Peterson dumped the body somewhere around here. What he could have done is go through underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and take the body out into the ocean. But you see, this is not a very big opening. So I'm not surprised that the body washed up right here. Because that was my thought too. Different people have given me different locations that they think are possible. And I'm thinking, you would pick a spot that leads into the deep, wide ocean, right? That's what I would think. You see, here is the Gulf of the Farallones. Oh my God, I never heard this before. How can it be? See? And here is the Berkeley Marina, right here. From there, he went out. So Scott Peterson probably went, from what I recall, to an island, right? Close to an island. And even when the tide receded, if the bodies are here somewhere, maybe didn't make it out. And of course, I talk about bodies or body since, the fetus of his unborn son, Connor, and Lacey's body have been found separately a mile away from each other. But this is a comment that Kim from South Africa made the other day, that, let's wait and see, because after all, Lacey came back to shore. And that's when I wondered and had to look it up. And I believe that Daniel, as an experienced fisherman, knows better. Scott, just another confident dumbass who, and I don't believe he went out there, because had he gone out towards the ocean, I know it takes a long time, but he had all day, right? I don't think the bodies would have, if he had gone here, they would have, no. So I believe he stayed right in there. And that's the difference. So I do not expect a miracle. I believe that Daniel knows what he's doing when it comes to fishing. So that is where I kind of am. But let me see Google Earth also. Google Earth has become one of my favorite. Let's see. Big Island. Beach. Pictou County. Pictou County. So, this is Big Island Beach. And the picture I sent, the picture I'm using is, of course, the one that you sent me. Thank you for reminding me. You sent it months ago. I got it. Gee. Come back. Okay. You see? And here's Egerton. This is where Justin lives. Oh, he has a property there. And then the Pipeline Boys, where do they live? Well, I gotta find it, right? Lansdowne Station is here. New Glasgow is here, and here's Westville. That's where the Pipeline Boys live, I believe. And then from there, from Westville, here's Egerton. So I'm talking about increments of less than 20-minute rides each, right? To Westville, from Lansdowne to Westville, to Egerton, and then Big Island Beach. And he mentioned it, of course, if you guys recall. And I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do recall. But because it was such a beautiful poetic statement from Daniel, and now I have a very clear image, not just some screenshot from, I love her more than anything. That will never change. I'm waiting for that chance to relive our first date over waterfalls and a walk on Big Island Beach with the Daniel you first met. She will know what that means. All right. Then he says something else. But Big Island Beach, yep, it's on my mind. Am I definitive? Am I definite over it? No, absolutely not, guys. Absolutely not. But what I want to get to right now, yeah. Wow, it was beautiful, right? Poetry. Yeah, that's Daniel. I projected the voice of the Daniel that she first met. That is the real. Well, it wasn't the real Daniel, but it worked. And so, anyways, the nice Daniel voice. Yep, it's done and slow. Thanks. Yeah, it feels creepy to do it, especially knowing that, but let's go back to the real Daniel. You see, that was not the real Daniel. The real Daniel is the one who replied to Kelly Gibson earlier. That is the real Daniel, I believe. Oh yeah, holy crap. Let me remember something here, and I need you to tell me about it. Yes, I'm jumping around. I don't care. I don't go by program. I go, what is this? And I need you guys to please let me know if there's anything that I missed. And this is from the document. Constable Gan, all French names here, right? Okay, Mason, I know. Constable Gagnon, Constable G and Constable Mason were at Jack and Lily's residence on May 2nd, 2025, around 4 p.m. when Haley Ferdinand Haley, Hayden Murray Smith, Hayden, I believe that's her boyfriend. Oh, no, that's her brother. And Hayden's girlfriend came out of the woods to say they found a pink blanket in the woods. In a tree on Lansdowne Station Road? Didn't Janie tell us it's Lansdowne Road, not Lansdowne right? They showed a picture to Malaya and Daniel, who confirmed the blanket belonged to Lilly. Really? When did he confirm that? Are they trying to just fuck with us or what? Daniel, didn't he deny it? So you mean, okay, he confirmed it to police, but to the media he denied it? Remember the statements from Malaya. He tells the police, he tells the truth, but he lies on social media. Kang. Well, that's what I thought, but apparently it was found on Friday. I mean, I heard that also. Logan said, Daniel, yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, gang on. Thank you, Grove Cat. Gang on. That's the name of the dude. Constable Gang on. Gang on. So which is it? What the hell is going on with all of this? Because the official documents, I mean, and by the way, those of you who think it was staged or planted, I need statements that lead me towards that. That's what I'm always looking for. So just so you know, my mind is open into every single direction, no matter what it is. But I need language to guide me there. When that happens, or hardcore evidence, meaning not, even if there are people that are right most of the time when they speak to me. FB was very busy today, Rob. Yes. I didn't expect for it to happen. Kelly Gibson. Thank you, Kelly, wherever you are. I hope you're not watching the... Never mind. Yep. And I will get to this also. And I absolutely love it. But I have the screenshots. Ooh, CB. Wow, you come. What am I looking here now? Wow, I'm getting some great information now. But I will process it this time. I don't want to read it blindly. I be damned. Wow. So, yes, I'm going to get into the. You know what? I never really posted in that group before, but I did today, and I had my own questions for Daniel. Only two follow-up ones. But to say Carly Gibson gets under his skin would be an understatement. Oh my goodness, dude. Daniel, we just saw your poetry. But is there another side to you? Well, let's just find out, shall we? Because here, one more time, I feel like, okay, the property in Egerton, Justin's property, 15 minutes from that beach, island, big island beach. What am I doing here? Yep, big island beach. You see New Glasgow, Chance Harbor. Here's Chance Harbor, that area. Okay. This is a picture, Daniel and Malaya. And here we go. Kelly, shut the F up. This has gone on for too long. Yep. He's been complaining about the length of time. It's been 6 weeks, and everybody just wants to know everything, right? He is angry that people are not slowing down. He's upset people are not losing interest, meaning even after Daniel Martel, even after he was told he passed the polygraph test, which means he passed some bullshit questions that are absolutely the wrong questions to ask. He was on a high, wanted to celebrate with the word, I am cleared. I am free. And he was surprised to go online and realize, nope. Sure, there is always a certain percentage of people that's going to continue, or that's going to change their mind. Oh, okay, he's cleared, cool. But not everyone. And many of you guys, it makes you only become more vocal to make sure that truth remains visible. Meaning, nope, we don't believe you are innocent. And we are going to continue stating that. And we are also going to continue giving reasons why. We will tell you exactly what we have an issue with. Because we are not guessing around. Even though you want to dismiss what we're stating as a speculation, as an opinion. And by the way, what did I say about opinions? Not all opinions are thoughts. And not all theories are possibilities. I believe that is something I just replied to one of you guys because you asked me opinions versus thoughts. Let me say it one more time. I love to deal with thoughts and possibilities. Theories usually go a little bit too far and they require me to take a leap of faith, a leap that is too large. I am looking at possibilities, and I definitely have thoughts. Not all opinions are thoughts, and not all theories are possibilities, right? So when somebody is being labeled a theorist, that can be a form of trying to discredit the person when he or she is an actual researcher. And when you're unable to disprove or debunk the message. The same with the thoughts or conclusions. That's just an opinion. Well, opinion can include complete thoughtlessness, right? Opinions and theories can be 100% completely wrong, because by definition, they don't require a solid basis to stand on. So when Daniel and Chris Proudfoot love to talk about opinions, well, that is them trying to discredit people's thoughts. So, I never abused Malaya or the kids. It would have been more reliable if he said, I didn't abuse Malaya or the kids. Never is always one of those terms that takes us a little bit too far out there. But it is also okay to say it here. The problem is that the term never, I never found anything at the pipeline. I never drove the ATV in years. Nonsensical. So never, he uses a lot when it's not appropriate. Look at the GD documents. Malaya even says in there, okay, now we know, for the same way that he kept bragging about the polygraph results, right? Let's just say it went in my favor. Okay. Nothing about Jack and Lilly, but his favor. It's important to him. You see? The documents give him wings. Look, not criminal, not suspect. It's all in your mind. And he thinks everybody should be stupid enough to say, okay, I give up. Let me not trust my own brain anymore. Let me be a hamster and enjoy my new treadmill. Even says in there. But remember, and that's the question I asked him also, what did Malaya mean by he picked on Jack and he picked on Lilly sometimes? And she said, well, we get this here about the documents. But what about holding her down, taking the phone away? And by the way, what preceded all of that? And remember Wade. Daniel wants to give his one-sided story. He cannot wait to speak. And the moment that he thinks he has some leverage, he immediately wants to come on there and scream it to the world. Yep. Nope. Exactly. I'm reading your comments, guys. He says it twice. Malaya even says in there, even. He says even twice. I didn't even physically discipline them. Extra words, people. If he said, I didn't physically discipline them, it would be more credible. But just this one extra word that he has to put in there already needs to be marked. That's a sensitivity already. And now he asking a question. Why would I ever abuse kids? Remember when Jerry McCain talked about that night? How would we have done that? When would we have done that? Asking questions. Now making it our responsibility to first answer a question rather than making a simple denial. Why would I ever abuse kids? Why does anybody? Right? Come on, give your head a shake. Stop with the drama seeking, it's foolish. So he wants to convince Callie Gibson that her mind is not working well. And he says, come on. He's trying to get her to come on his side a little bit. And I believe he had a lot of success with this before. And one of you stated that he has this lost soul charm. And by the way, Daniel may not strike you as an abuser. Chris Proudfoot, when I hear him talk, he's a typical abuser. Typical abuser. I don't know, I forgot. Did his ex-wife say he abused her too and beat her too? But she talked about how violent he is with children. And he says, Terry Bowersox did the same to him, his stepfather. But he's too much of a coward to break the cycle, right? My daddy did it to me. I'll do it to him. Chris Proudfoot comes off as an abuser. I mean, the typical everything. Daniel, if you didn't know what this was all about, you wouldn't think necessarily he is the type of person that beats children. But what is your definition of abuse? When you feel justified to do what you did, and you're being asked, did you abuse the kids? And you say no, you can pass a polygraph easily. Because to him, what he did to Jack and Lilly, he may not consider abuse. His dad may have done him the exact same way. Well, except what happened on Thursday night, because Daniel is still alive. You see, language is extremely important. What words he chooses, extremely important, people. Didn't even recognize the term even. Not even that, because he did worse. And that's what's on his mind. He hurt them so badly, that they wound up being missing. That's why he minimizes it with even. I didn't even Like physical discipline is no big deal, right? Malaya even says in there, well, it's also a surprise to him. It came out of nowhere. Sudden success. Of course, what's on his mind is what she said on Crime and Shame. He held her down, took the phone away, and she held back. She didn't tell us what preceded it. She didn't tell us why she had a nervous breakdown and had to be taken to a hospital. She doesn't go there because she doesn't want to be made or doesn't want to be responsible. Remember when I think Haley talked about Daniel doing rugs in the bathroom and that Malaya told her he's been doing it for 2 years? And later she went on Facebook and took it back. Well, because Malaya didn't want anybody to know that she lied possibly to CPS and covered up for him and covered up the physical abuse towards her and towards Jack and Lilly. And he's telling her the drama seeking, stop with the drama seeking, it's foolish. Well, this is also a projection type of statement where he's telling her he is trying to claim that her intention is to create drama or seek drama. Also a form of gaslighting and trying to discredit. That's not what Callie is doing. I think, just looking at her language, I think she's very passionate about when it comes to children being hurt. And she was the same about Sebastian Rogers. And there are people who, for whatever different reasons, are the moment that they come across a case where a child is being hurt, they become almost, how do I say this? There's adrenaline involved. At times, it can also be a memory of having experienced abuse yourself in childhood and now being a grown-up, not being in the position anymore, but wanting to use that to just go against abusers in general, right? There are many different reasons, but the language comes through when somebody is truly sometimes the people can be quite quiet and a little bit passive here and there, but the moment there are certain things that trigger them, they can't help it. And I told her also, I have a different way of asking questions. I just asked him, what did Malaya mean? You picked on Jack. What did she mean by that? And what's the difference between the Daniel she first met and the Daniel you became? But Callie has a different way of doing it, and it gets under his skin, as you can tell. Because he thinks with the document release and that article, it's over. And he realizes it's far from over. It's not ending. We don't believe him. Now let's see what else he stated. There's a Jack and Lilly account. Let me see 1 second. With the big L, Logan. I know it's you, Logan. I know it's you. It's your style. It's your exact style. Wait, here's something else. Well, I don't want to out certain people yet. Wait a minute. Where is it? Jeez. Did I not get it? And here's his bullshit story. about Malaya. She was hugging me and crying on my shoulder right before the first search briefing with Commander of Operations, and led search team members then went into an ambulance with her mother Cindy for 5 minutes. When they came out, Malaya was terrified with fear, couldn't look at me, and she was shaking. All she kept saying over and over was, I have to go with mom, I have to go with mom. Twice, okay. Cindy came between us. I said, Cindy, effing get, and waved my arms at her. Go. Malaya couldn't even make eye contact. Whatever was said inside the ambulance changed Malaya. Cindy said Malaya in the car now. She demanded she get in. They sped away, leaving me at the time to only put my hands on the back window, and I said, I love you, honey, tomato. Then the allegations started flooding in. I don't abuse women or children. Well, first of all, we are not talking about women and children. We're talking about Malaya, and we're talking about Jack and Lilly. So you make this a little bit too general. I'm talking about one woman here and two specific children. So if you don't abuse your own children, they are not in the same category to you as Jack and Lilly. No, you don't abuse women or children in general, but you did abuse a certain woman, at least one certain woman, and at least two specific children. I didn't abuse Malaya, and I didn't abuse Jack or Lilly, would be more credible. But again, what is abuse to you? Also, he fears his mommy, his mommy hated them so much. And I don't think he felt like he did anything wrong. Well, of course, he felt like something he didn't feel. He knew it was wrong, but a feeling inside, kind of pleasing mommy. Malaya changed after that moment. It's heartbreaking, but that's what happened. Heartbreaking, there is a finality to it. The same when he said the last thing that Lilly said. And he didn't say the last thing Lilly said to me. The last thing that Lilly said in general. There's also a very big difference here. Okay, I got a couple of more people. Oh, this one is a good one. Ha ha ha. And you always have some ass washers that give some meaningless comment, and they're taking. And so he talks about Malaya here, and he says her mother also has a CPS record. So he is admitting to having a CPS record. Oh, and they had a great time with Cody. Remember when he said it? He is not denying anything. What he is telling you is, I am not the only one. That is a confirmation, people. He has a record, and he has a record for a reason. Yep, that's who he is. Daniel will give himself away again and again. And I don't understand this one. But Belinda came in and says, you told me she looked at you with disgusting, not fear. And you said you fought over giving spankings because she was too slack. And they wouldn't listen to her. I don't care what's on the dark papers. That's what Belinda said, okay? I don't understand if somebody can maybe translate this for me. That's now a look of being ashamed, Belinda. What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry, but sometimes, well, let's look at it like this. That's now a look of being ashamed. Nope, I don't get it. Yeah, I said it before. Government agencies oftentimes protect each other. So when CPS failure leads to children disappearing, you know what, guys? Then I personally don't expect too much from law enforcement. Ashamed, guilty. Okay, that's now a look of being guilty, Belinda. That's what you think? Oh yeah, absolutely. His ex-wife, she feels a need to protect her children from him. The date of which post? This one here? A few hours ago. It is in the uncensored. The uncensored. Let me see. One moment, please. I'll open my Facebook real quickly. I'll show you guys. Let me see. So why did Malaya leave Daniel? And that was 14 hours ago that Callie posted that. And somebody posted this bullshit sighting thing, of course. I asked about Lansdowne Station Road. Callie posted this. So this was a real, you see, Daniel is so upset that his strategy didn't work, or that people still so Callie is on it. Here we go. I don't think people really okay. And by the way, half of the comments are so stupid. At least half of the comments. And oh my God, these people are so stupid. Seriously, there should be a different internet for people who have a certain IQ. You know what I mean? There should be a, and I'm not talking about a huge requirement. I'm not talking about 120 or anything like that. I'm talking about, please, at least 97. You know what I mean? Okay, I don't see it. I'll get to it. I guess you guys are in that group. Some of you. I think it's the biggest one. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ah, where are we? Did Daniel delete it? Kelly Gibson, where are you? You were here last time. Maybe he deleted it. I don't know. It's possible. Because he is the one who, went right in there and said, shut the fuck up, and everything else was below that. So that would disappear everything else. Oh, here we go. Shut the fuck up. Okay, cool. There we go. 10 hours ago, Daniel said that. She was hugging me and crying right on my shoulder. Okay, there we go. And then he stopped. But he said it again. What? He said it twice? Yeah, he said it twice. He said it once in a reply to Teresa, and then he wanted to make sure his story gets out there. And there's Belinda. You told me she looked at... let me see. No, I didn't say Mensa member. I said somebody whose mind is just halfway clear. Somebody who doesn't... Yeah, Grandel, that's the first time I actually went... No, I posted... I think one time I posted, and the replies were so stupid that I gave up on it, right? But that's why the questions that I asked, Daniel, I asked only two, and they were non-accusatory. I just want a clarification. What's the difference between the Daniel Malaya first met and the Daniel you are now? And the other one was, what did Malaya mean by you're picking on Jack, right? Because I don't want somebody to give anybody the reason to say you're bashing me and you're harassing me and you're accusing me. Because certain people, the moment that I go overboard and say too much of what I really think, they will get right in there. Look what you're doing to me. You're bashing me. Even Daniel, when he talked about the RCMP, when they said, you killed Jack and Lilly, a stupid thing to do in an interrogation, because now he can focus on that. And he can say, they had no reason to. Why did they do that? Why? They said there are no suspects, and they told me this. Look at how bad these people are. Look how much they hate me. I am the victim here. That is his message here. And he's very quick in becoming a victim. And now here are words of wisdom. I don't spank kids or hit them. It doesn't solve anything. Yeah, no shit. Solve what, by the way? What was your issue? And by the way, don't make it general. I don't spank kids. Maybe you don't spank your own children. Maybe that's possible. But I talked about the pressure cooker that was on that night, already starting on Wednesday. Because it was the first of the month was coming. No rent money, no money from the government, right? And what did Patty tell you when you asked her for money? You stayed there all day, came home at 10-something p.m. Because why? What did Patty tell Malaya? Did Patty say, I'm not giving you any more money. This guy is no good. You can come stay with me anytime. But I'm not going to enable this kind of lifestyle. I believe a lot of things happened. And I believe that Wednesday night was when Lilly received her black eye. Yes, absolutely. They lead with emotions. Yep. Absolutely. So here, again, I want you to say, I didn't spank Lily or Jack. I don't need you to give me a speech about child psychology. It doesn't solve anything. I didn't do it with any of my kids either. Yeah, I believe you didn't do it with, maybe you didn't, maybe you did. So here we go again. Well, that's me asking question. 10 likes, cool. But Daniel didn't answer. He picks and chooses. Then Kelly went back. Here's Belinda. She says, most of us carry our parents' traits. Both of your parents are no nonsense. Strong-willed, stubborn, old-school raised. You also carry those traits. Malaya has told others that you were physical and told me you were the jealous type. Now the story has changed again. Absolutely. You see, Daniel thinks that the moment there's something positive or what he considers positive, to him, it's in his favor what they wrote in that article. And immediately he thinks he can get people's emotions to cause them to disregard every single fact that we have learned. And that is what he expects from us. And anybody that does not agree, suddenly he feels, I got something. I will show them. I will talk about it. They're going to forget everything. And some people do. A lot of these people do. And it's also interesting to see the comments when somebody shares a video of mine. Half of them are good. The other half is, oh my God. And then the Jack Lilly account comes in and says some real. Hidden in the far, yeah. That woman has zero credibility, by the way, hidden in the fog. Zero. Remember when Logan was on there and she immediately took Logan's side blindly? You see, you would think that the people in YouTube should know a little bit something. Yeah, the Jack Lilly account. That Jack Lilly account feels the need, and I believe it's. You see, interesting, right? Yes, Kimberly, if you're still here. Right, my point is Daniel is not making references to mud and water. Yes, he did. This guy's over-interpreting things that are not there. Nope, we are not over-interpreting at all. It is leakage. But to this person, it's a very sensitive area. This person's intention is to protect Daniel by any means necessary. And the name calling part, or the Well, Kimberly explains, I believe you misunderstood. No, that person did not misunderstand me, actually. That person, well, the person isn't bright enough to understand everything, right? But knows enough about what happened. And knows that I got him. And knows that if more people listen to me, things will change. And wants to keep people from watching me. So that is why this person felt the need to comment. When my video was posted. And again, these types of people, these types of comments, we don't have them here. We get rid of them because I want people, I'm being analyzed. Yeah, no shit. Sometimes it feels more like probing. So this person is trying to teach me about statement analysis, right? And trying to tell everybody reading that she knows more and that I'm over-interpreting. And listen to this one. Yes, I am aware of all that. Of course, you're aware of everything, Logan. That is how I know this video is crap without even having to watch it. Okay, so you didn't watch it. You just know I'm getting close. Why would you feel the need to comment on a video that you didn't watch? Why? Referencing water, for example, would be if asked, what did you do this morning? And the response is details such as telling you he washed his hands. No, actually, that's actually not. All of these can be Peter Hyatt. You can watch what he talked about when people do unnecessary. Okay, what did you do this morning? Well, I woke up, I made some coffee, and I was late. What you mentioned, I washed my hands. I went to the bathroom. I took a shower. No, you do that every morning anyways, right? So this is absolutely wrong because we do pay attention to details that are not necessary. I went online and I saw an important message, so I hurried to get out the door and deal with an issue that we have at work. These are the types of things you will mention. Not I woke up, I took a number 1 or number 2, then I washed my hands, and then I figured I'd take a shower right now. No, So this is exactly, so these are anything unnecessary we have to notice. And so these are sensitivities. But Daniel's references are huge sensitivities. It goes without saying. So saying it would be a reference. Telling you he ran through waist deep water is not referencing. Yes, it is. And where did you run through deep water, through waist deep water? Where? Because you did the night before, not that morning. That morning you went straight to the pipeline. And of course, it would be nice if, I guess in Canada, they don't publish the body cam things like they do in the United States. It would be interesting to see what he looked like that morning when he showed up. And they should have taken his clothes and forensically examined them. For example, was it salt water or fresh water that he was soaked in? If it was salt water, you can say, show me where in Lansdowne Station You've gotten salt water on your clothes. They failed on so many different levels. So many. But anyways, this person doesn't watch my videos and doesn't want you to watch them either. And these are the intentions. Then Logan talked about something else because somebody said, oh, that person reporting the sighting sounds like Logan or something like that. Wasn't me. I haven't spoken on a live in months. And then, to be honest, I have no idea. Okay, you're being honest now? Do you think that voice sounds familiar though? Maybe not. So I've said it before. To be honest, there are 3 different reasons I can think of. Number 1, I'm lying to you now, and I want you to think I'm not. Number 2, I lied to you before, but this time I'm telling you the truth. And number 3, as is the case with me many times, that I think, oh, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say that. Certain things I should hold back, but I say, okay, to be honest, this is what I really think, right? You can hold it against me later. Maybe I should or shouldn't say it, but the bottom line is that for the sake of honesty, I'm stating it. Screw it. That's a lie. This is a life, right? When I see you guys react and being honest and open in the live chat, that's when I also feel the need to say, you know what, I'm not going to hold back unless there's something like right now where I really need to get more information and I don't want to mess it up yet. Literally had no problem giving my name back then. Look at this. Logan literally had no problem giving her name back then. That means she has a problem giving her name now. So if I spoke again, you don't know if you spoke again? Yes, you did. I put my name out there. No, you didn't. You started a fake account. That's what's on her mind right here. That Lily Jack account is her. And I'm telling you, it wasn't me, clear as day. Well, so you were not the person who gave the tip with the Lily sighting. Okay. I believe that's what it was about. But let me see something else. I want to make sure I get to everything now, so I don't have to do it again, and so I don't get I guess the waterfall, Daniel. Give me 1 second, people. This is Justin. With the co-owner of the property. And give me 1 second. I need some coffee right now. And that person is friends with all the because he's not showing his teeth. Who? I don't know if he looks like Daniel or not. Maybe a little bit in this picture more. I don't know. But he lives up there, 15 minutes away from Big Island Beach. And I was told that Earl also owns property up there. I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't know, people. I think he does. Enough people have told me. And where are the 100 acres? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Oh man, what did I do here? Okay, I think we got it. What did I miss? What did I forget? Again, this is a possibility. I'm not set on Big Island Beach, but it is a possibility. And even if it's 45 minutes away from Lansdowne, he could have made one or two stops. Westville, Egerton, I don't know. And I believe some of the people, well, I'll get into this later. But let me go back to some more statements from him. This was a big day on Facebook. Surprising. Oh, here we go. That's what's been sent to me. The Mill Crew. Rhonda McLean, St. Milne, Daniel Martel, Christian, and Adam McElroy, who we know now. Justin Martel also tagged. And everyone else I forgot. You guys are all crazy efforts. Ha ha ha. Yeah, okay. Again, these are public posts on Facebook, accessible to everybody. And yeah, I'm looking at, they're all connected, man, all these people. Justin's woman, all of them. If Justin will break, I don't know. That's a very good question. There is a chance, but there's also a chance that he is not going to, that he's going to be family first. Little Harbor, Chance Harbor. So you would have to go, yes, Egerton, New Glasgow. Lansdowne is down here. So you can go here, close to Westville, then to Egerton. It's like 17 minutes, 15 minutes, kind of like that. But of course, you would have to take the back roads. And these don't look very populated here. That doesn't mean a camera didn't catch him somewhere. What is this, a train track? But this used to be one of his favorite spots, man. And then, of course, you see, unlike where Scott Peterson gotten rid of Lacey, this goes into the ocean. This is the Northumberland Strait. And it's a part of the ocean. And then, yeah, it could be. It's possible that the bodies can get to shore somewhere. Or that they get taken out by the tide into the international sea, the international waters. So when bodies hit this area, there's hardly a chance that they will come to shore at any time. Scott Peterson was a very different story. That was in the Bay Area here. You see? You go in here. And this should be the Golden Gate Bridge. Yep. This is the Golden Gate Bridge right here. Berkeley Marina. He took the body out here somewhere. But you see, this is 10 kilometers. So this would be like 20 kilometers. I believe had he gone out through the Golden Gate into the ocean, we may have never found Lacey. But he dumped the body somewhere here. And that's why Daniel leaked international sea. And I know, Logan, you would disagree. People talk about international sea all the time, right? I shouldn't have even read something so stupid. But this is not only somebody who doesn't understand it or doesn't want to understand it, but who really, 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 that has Logan written all over it. Very confident, but IQ-wise, not so much. Oh, there was something else about properties. I was going to get to the last time. And I went to Google Street View. And I guess these are the cabins. I show you those. Jack and Lily's home was right here, down here. And then there are other cabins across the street, but I believe the other ones were what we talked about and not these, where there was a new lock. This, I think, is Earl. A lot of cars here, a lot of stuff. Earl's property. Ron, is that a swimming pool? I was told he had a swimming pool. That's a property across the street that Belinda asked about. Wow, strange. At this time, people are coming on. Before, no. Yep, Scott was really foolish, Scott Peterson. Scott Peterson, what went through his mind? Well, I think the only thing that went through his mind was Amber Frey. That he wanted to see her as soon as possible and be with her and lose the lose his wife. I don't know where I got this from. Don't remember, it's been a while. So Chance Harbor, again, it's here, but there is Big Island Beach. Again, I'm looking at possibilities, guys. So there's no need to ever theorize. I know the children are in the ocean. That's what I know. And that is due to Daniel's leakage, as well as Malaya's and Janie's leakage. The surf effort and the property not being near the ocean. Why did Janie say it? Because she knows the children are in the ocean. And her point was, children are nowhere near my property. But she also invites people. You can come. Oh, yeah. Wait. It's been a while since I did this, right? Because I now realize that one of you has sent me this transcript. And that's exactly what I want to get to right now. It's only a small transcript, a partial one, but very interesting statements in there. Cal, I have to look for that link now. Oh yeah, thank you to the people. Jeez, man. What is astro readings? No, I don't need the site. I don't need. Let me see. I cannot find your message now. Crap. I know you sent it to me. Okay, here we go, right? I thought you sent me a link also, right? Oh yeah, here we go. There's a transcript from Janie. I will use the other one simply because it's easier to read for people. And then I'm going to also go a little bit into maybe some audio from so much more. So only a little bit here. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. After that, I heard nothing. The next thing I know, or the next thing I heard, is I heard Daniel yelling. I think that those of you who have been watching my videos know when somebody says the next thing I know, and then even goes into, or the next thing I heard. Wow, the next thing I heard Daniel yelling. There was another comment, shoot, I missed it, where Daniel said on Facebook that the children were heard and Lilly was seen, and he uses passive language. Not I heard, but anyways. Silence is never a good thing when you have kids because you know they're getting into something. Jack's the one that if he didn't want to do something, he didn't do it. And he was a curious boy. He stayed out here, and that's all he did, was look for bugs and worms. Yep, it wasn't an exciting area to be for a child. And Lily, she was always running around screaming and hollering. And I observed those kids for 2 years. They were part of my life for 2 years. How do you look back at those 2 years, Janie? That's what I want to know from you. And now you cannot shake them off. And you're telling people you consider suicide. Wanting people to feel sorry for you. That's also Daniel's go-to mechanism to get people to feel sorry for him. Because they do shit for him when they do. Yes, observed is oddly clinical language. Absolutely. I observed those kids. That's standing back, not being involved with them. That lacks involvement. She did not interact with them. If I observe, birds building a nest on my balcony, I observed. I didn't interact. I wanted them to do it. I was not moving because I figured this is kind of cool. But this year, that was a year ago. This year, I don't care. Go somewhere else. And I was observing some of it. This was very critical observation that she had of Jack and Lily. Those kids. She interacted with her grandchildren. One of them kept coming into her trailer to get food to take to the fort. And she's telling us exactly why, in her opinion, the children went missing. And there's no remorse. There is no feeling of, I should have been different. The only thing that she doesn't like in terms of consequences is the fact that now she cannot see her grandchildren, and that she was worried that maybe Daniel has to go away. But whatever Daniel did, she is justifying with this. And the message she's trying to send is, you wouldn't like Jack. There's no reason to like Jack and Lily. This is the harsh message. So if you read this or hear her talk about this, and you may not exactly know what the deal is, why is she doing it, but it irks you. It just creeps you out. It makes you get that hateful energy from her. There's a reason. Because she's telling you exactly how she felt about Jack and Lily and how she still feels about them. No loss. No loss for her. None. Nothing about Lily was so sweet with Jack. None of this. He was a curious boy. I still remember exactly the tone of voice she had there. Jack's the one. If he didn't want to do something, he didn't do it. Okay, well, hi, No More Lies. Yeah, I'm all right today. I don't think they were allowed to go in her trailer. And I don't think Jack and Lily wanted to be in her. They were in her trailer, right? She said that a couple of times she watched them and they were there, but I don't think they really wanted to be in there. I don't think they wanted to be around her. She interacted with her grandchildren, but not Jack and Lily. I observed those kids. When would you say, I observed those people? Think about that. Let's say you have some real crappy neighbors. And finally, after 2 years, they're moving. So only replace kids with people. You say, I observed those people for 2 years. They were part of my life for 2 years. Well, not by your choice. They became a part of your life, of course. And that's exactly what you had a problem with, that they were a part of your life. But the distancing language here, those kids, that was not something that she wanted. It is a tone of disgust. And she's opening biology class, yeah. Who lives in Garlock? You mean Justin Smith? Yeah, I will look more into this. There's a lot more I have to look into, people. Yeah. They're gone forever, absolutely. Not they have been part of my life. They were. It's over now. And now I'll talk to you about what I want, what I've been through. How much hell it was for me. That's exactly what she is doing, guys. She is telling you, she's telling us how bad it was for her, in her opinion. Hi, Marley, are you still there? Okay. Hell for her, absolutely. The only thing, and she said that's all he did, was look for bugs and worms. That's all there is to him. And she's using bugs and worms because she wants to gross people out. And she wants to give people a bad impression about Jack. She is telling you, you don't understand what I've been through. You guys think these kids are so wonderful. No, they're not. Always running around screaming and hollering. That's not how you speak about children that you had any good feelings about who suddenly are missing. All the rumors and accusations about us murdering the kids and burying them on the property. Nope, this place has been searched through and through. You know what? She is inviting you to waste your time because they're not on the property. And again, I've observed those kids for 2 years. We went for walks in the woods. I had to practically carry Jack through the woods because there was no way that he was walking through all the, okay. Daniel, about the polygraph. I was extremely nervous, especially with the first question. They asked me, did you kill Lilly and Jack? Why did it make you nervous? And why did you pass? Because fear is being recognized by the sense. I believe he was so nervous the whole time that even when they asked him, is today Thursday? Is your name Daniel Martel? He probably shown already a lot of fear. That can also be the case. that you're already so hyped up that they don't measure a huge difference between your reaction to the control questions and the sensitive ones. There are many reasons people pass a polygraph, but more than anything, the questions were wrong. RCMP, they messed up from the very beginning, guys. I can't make you come out, but please, if you have a heart for these kids, she has no heart for these kids. Remember that. So she says, if you have a heart for these kids, if you are like me and don't have a heart for these kids, you know what I mean? She's telling you, she's just told you before, there's no reason to have a heart for them. Please come out and tell us what happened or what you think happened. Just waste everybody's time with what you think happened. Shed some light on this. You see Natasha, the other crazy woman who thinks she saw Lilly. Yeah, did they test him? Did they rock test him? Now the thing is this. If they tested him, of course he failed. But are they going to hold that against him in terms of when it comes to this investigation? I'm still here, right? Okay. I guess I have a little bit more. I mean, yeah, absolutely. He's not fit to take care of children. And that is also the thing he's avoiding. And he feels so confident right now. He feels so incredibly confident because of this article that came out and because of the documents where all the good parts are redacted. Anything about him. Hi, Risa. He feels so absolutely empowered. And then he goes on Facebook and thinks, now they're going to be done with me. Now they're all going to leave me alone. And all of a sudden, there's Callie Gibson. And she's like, Daniel, why did Malaya leave you? And that's when he, let's go back to this one, man, because it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful how he reacts to Callie Gibson. And that's nothing that we take personal, by the way. When this Lily Jack account attacks my videos, or when Daniel goes off on her, that is an indicator that you just said something he doesn't want anybody to think about. Well, I already gone through this. Let's hear if there's something else. And then I will call it a night if it doesn't pan out to be significant.
below zero temperatures. So again, these search efforts are continuing now.
Below zero, and they didn't have their coats. And Amy Hansen thought a few weeks later they were still hiding somewhere. I mean, how speechless can I be? But I also, the bottom line is that all these, never mind, I'll get to this later, next time.
Beginning their 4th day of searching. Heather?
Brett, that's important information. Thank you so very much. Brett, going to be keeping us right up to date.
No, they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lilly.
No, I know they took their boots. When somebody, rather than telling you they took their boots, I know, or when somebody says, I know I didn't do it, that's a huge red flag, people. I didn't do it. He expresses uncertainty, to say the least, that they took their boots. And he didn't say they wore their boots. They took their boots. And he says that's pink boots for Lilly, because he took the boots for Lilly. And
Blue boots for Jack.
if you take your own boots, you don't say, I took the boots for me. You didn't take boots for you. You take your boots. You wear your boots. You put on your boots. But because he had to remind himself, I need to get the pink boots for Lilly and the blue boots for Jack. That is what went through his mind in a very critical situation. And I believe that he may have left with the bodies. And by the way, remember, okay, what was it about the shirt? Gee, it's been a long, you see, that's why I need to make these every day. So let's go back to this. This is very interesting. And I think then I have covered everything. See, I was worried about that when I read too many different things and jump around too much, that when it comes time to make these videos, here we go. Haley said she is stepsisters with Malaya. So Lilly and Jack are her niece and nephew. Haley said Malaya had cut out her family members and she had not seen Malaya or the kids in 2 years. Haley saw that the children were missing on Facebook after she got home from work on May 2, and then went to Lansdowne to help with the search around 2 or 2:30 p.m. They went home around 2 a.m. and then came back on Saturday to search as well. Haley said she went searching on Friday with her brother Hayden and Hayden's girlfriend Emily. While searching, they found a piece of pink blanket on a tree with 2 bigger size shirts. 2 bigger size shirts. What a coincidence, right? On the ground, just below. Hayden took pictures. I would love these pictures. Remember when Daniel said Malaya stole his shirts? What a coincidence, right? And we didn't know that before. You see, they don't even feel the need to fill the public in on anything. The blanket was at the end of a login or ATV trail. What a surprise. ATV trail. What a surprise. Daniel, what a surprise. Haley described the blanket as hanging on a branch, like it was thrown or set there. Haley said she did not think anyone of them touched the blanket. She also believed the shirts were rags and didn't have anything to do with the blanket. Well, that's your interpretation, and I don't care about your thoughts too much, Haley. I just want to know what you know. I want to know what you saw. Your interpretation, I'm not interested in. Were those shirts tested? Very good question. The blanket, already almost 3 months ago. They said they were testing it, right? What happened? What happened? I didn't know that either, Sherry, until yesterday. I had no idea either. And remember, I showed you earlier, they're stating that was Lansdowne Station Road that they found it. Not Lansdowne Road. Isn't that strange? Let's keep moving. Oh. Hayden said Malaya is her sister, and Lily and Jack is our niece and nephew. Okay, Hayden said. Okay, Hayden is the brother of Malaya's. Hayden said he got a text saying the children were missing on May 2, so he went to Lansdowne to help. His grandmother Patty went with him. Hayden went with Haley and his girlfriend Emily to search. They drove around and Hayden saw a piece of fabric in a tree. He told his sister to stop so he could go look at it. Hayden said it was a blanket on a branch. He said it looked like it could have blown there or somebody threw it there. Okay. Which is it? He said the tree was a small bushy tree, more of an alder. He said the blanket was hanging 3 or 3.5 feet off the ground and hung up like a bath towel. He described it as a pink, fuzzy, dirty blanket. It was located right on the shoulder of the main road at the corner. He said they went right back and got the police officers who came to look at it. The canine unit came and took the dog up the trail. Hayden said he took a photo of the blanket on Emily's phone and went back to show Malaya. Malaya said it might be Lily's, but she threw it out in the garbage. Hayden said he did not know what happened with the blanket after that. Whose shirts were those? Nothing more. Nothing more, people. Very partial information, huh? Hayden said, Malaya, okay, here. Hayden said there was also clothes on the ground, but they looked old and ripped up. Well, what have they been used for? Emily Oakley said she is Hayden's girlfriend. They were searching at Patty's. They were staying at Patty's, and she woke up to a phone call saying the children were missing. They went out there and started to help search. She went with Hayden and Haley in the woods. How did they... Wait a minute. Okay. They drove around. They saw kids' clothing hanging on a tree. That's what she said. Kids' clothing. They got out of the car and were looking at them. They didn't touch them because they thought it might be evidence. Emily said there were 2 t-shirts and a blanket. The blanket was hanging in the tree and the clothes were on the ground. Emily took photographs as soon as they got out of the car. They drove Jack and Lily. They drove back and asked Malaya if the clothing belonged to the kids. Malaya said the blanket belonged to Lily, but the clothing did not. They then told the police, who went to investigate. Emily logged the data from the photographs and saw they were taken on May 2/25. She logged it 3:24 p.m. And one more time. Are they just playing with us? Are they just openly trying to screw with us? Because here it says, one more time, in a tree on Lansdowne Station Road. But you remember, Janie, it's Lansdowne Road, it's not Lansdowne Station Road. Remember that one? Which is it? Which is it? I want to hear somebody else talk. How about Daniel?
The dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white.
Had her backpack.
It was white, strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods that it'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up.
You didn't see them carrying their backpack. Their backpack. You don't see them carrying it. Yep. What happened to the backpack? When you gotten rid of them, how did you get rid of the backpack? I don't see them keeping a pull-up on. Were you worried that maybe the backpack or the pull-up would not make it out into the ocean and maybe go to shore somewhere? Because the pull-up part is very highly sensitive. But I was not sure exactly why. I believe it was an issue that Jack still had to wear a pull-up. I believe they were lazy and did not change it for him as often as they should have. I believe it was one of the things that bothered him about Jack. I believe Jack probably took it off himself many times and left it somewhere because he was uncomfortable having had it on too long. But this can also indicate that when he gotten rid of them, this is leakage from his experiential memory. What was on his mind, what went through his mind. And what went through his mind was, I have to get pink boots for Lily and blue boots for Jack. I don't see them carrying their backpack. It would be interesting to know more. Because if he gotten rid of the bodies, I don't think the backpack, that was a concern for him. How to get the, and maybe the pull-up as well. And what else were they wearing? Was Jack only wearing his pull-up to bed? Nothing else? I mean, no pants?
On for that long after it got soaked from the very first day. We only found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new other than the helicopters are still in the air.
Yeah, and the helicopters were on his mind. He may have wanted to go out back to the pipeline. He was worried about being seen. He even claimed he heard a scream. But the helicopter sound drowned it out. How convenient. He had a big problem with the drones and the helicopters. Had to beat them to it. Again, the biggest mistake the RCMP made was to let anybody go near that pipeline. Different ATVs drove over the tracks from the night before. People trampled on it, including the woman with the child.
And they had dogs. They took around the dogs today. And as of last night, they had 8 more drones going on with infrared. I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any.
So, people, what I was told about the woman, I was told she was the wife of the school bus driver. That's what I was told. So I'm giving you a disclaimer right now. This is only what I was told. And he lives a little bit further west.
Attachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But
They should have never been allowed to go out there, and they wanted. Now, that doesn't mean that the wife of the school bus driver knew what her role was there. It doesn't mean that she was told, you have to drive over this and trample over everything to get rid of the evidence. She may have just been asked to drive up and down to see something. If she's, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean she knew the reason they wanted her there. But she came down there because she was alerted. Yeah, bus has cameras. Remember Janie talked about how good friends they are with the bus driver? So, again, this is what I have heard. And just because I believe it to be true doesn't mean you need to. But I have some sources and yeah, not to be named.
Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
We've heard a lot about how
And something happened to Jack first and Lily would scream.
the impact that this is having on the community at large and the family, and it's
Blah, 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 blah. Shut the hell up. Can't even listen to these people.
Mind all the time. Like, where would they have gone? Like, we have done everything. I think the last thing I read, they searched a square kilometer area, 5 kilometers. That's a big area. And that's meticulously searched.
The children were reported missing from a home on Geographic Road on May 2nd, sparking a 6-day search that was eventually scaled back. Then, over the weekend, 115 search and rescue crew members were called back. RCMP have not said what prompted them to return, but Brown says it's not unusual to restart a search. He says there are a number of reasons police may call crews back, including tips or new evidence. But if that was the case, that information likely was not known by the search crews or even police officers on the ground.
They may tell them, we got a tip, and we go in that area and search and see if you find anything. They're not going to tell you exactly what was in the tip. It's not going to do it. They don't even tell their own people that, unless you are in the know, right? Unless it's like you're in that investigative group.
RCMP's major crime unit has been involved since the day after the children disappeared. They say every missing persons investigation is considered suspicious until they have reason to believe otherwise. An RCMP spokesperson would not answer specific questions about this latest search, but says officials will be reviewing the information collected and determining next steps. Ali Thompson, CBC News, Halifax.
We were searching. We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can. Just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in a military outfit said I could go back into the woods.
4 days into the search for his missing stepkids, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, Daniel Martel is pleading with the public to keep their eyes peeled, but he has begun to lose hope they are anywhere in the vicinity.
I hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only two prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it.
Martel wants the search to be extended to include provincial borders in case
That's it, Daniel. No curiosity, no thought about. Hi, Carrie. Talked about you earlier. I love your ability to get to Daniel. That's it. No curiosity at all. Let's see it one more time.
Halifax.
We were searching. We covered everywhere possible.
Everywhere possible? One moment. What does that mean? Okay.
Even in the first day we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff.
Yep. You had to beat them to it so you wouldn't be seen.
Stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can. Just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until
What is you?
a man dressed in a military outfit said I could go back into the woods.
4 days into
Yeah. But he uses a trigger that also expresses a release of stress when he was allowed to be in the woods again.
the search for his missing stepkids, Lilly and Jack Sullivan, Daniel Martel is pleading with the public to keep their eyes peeled, but he has begun to lose hope they are anywhere in the vicinity.
I hate being wet and cold, so they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only two prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it.
Facing the road. He's trying to plant a seed here. He's trying to plant a seed that they went out to the road. That's where he wants, that's the direction. Yeah, that is the direction he wants your mind to go. He cannot commit to the thought of an abduction. He knows it's complete horse crap. But when he says, right beside the house, facing the road, he wants you to think, because he knows by now it's too insane to think that they walked so far out of the search area that they had gotten away by foot. He wants you to think he went to the road. Somebody must have taken them. That's exactly why he's stating that. The abduction narrative from the very beginning, neither him or Malaya could linguistically commit to it. It's not like, but it is a possibility. Remember what Malaya said? They want to plant a seed. The same way that article tried to plant a seed with the fake tip from, or the false tip from Natasha. And now we have the fake Lilly sighting. And by the way, that was from June. And Natasha came forward May 31st, 29 days after. Think about that one, people. Yeah, that's also a sensitive area about the phone. They always don't have their phone with them, right? And they always made it a point.
Martel wants the search to be extended to include provincial borders in case the children were abducted.
Yep, there we go. Far away, stay busy. And by the way, a lot of times when people talk about, sometimes the people who know exactly what happened, they will stay busy doing something that isn't going to get results, and they encourage other people to do the same thing. Go hang up flyers, go hang flyers, because they know what happened and it won't do any good, right? So they brag about doing something that, and by the way, I know a lot of you have right intentions with that. But what I'm saying is not everybody that talks about putting up flyers does so for a right reason, for a good reason. Many times they are getting really busy doing something in order to lead away from the direction where we need to look. Anything to sidetrack people. And if you think this cannot work, nobody's that stupid. Well, just look at the Jack and Lily Uncensored group. Look at the comments in there. Carrie knows all about it. Kimberly Whittaker knows all about that too. You have the right people in there. Oh, yeah, his stapler. Yeah. His stapler. Now he has 2 staplers, remember? Now he's ready. Geofence data, yep. Exactly, 2 staplers. You see, that's what he likes to talk about. Anything that has nothing to do with what we need to know more about. That's what he loves. Stay busy with that. And the moment Callie Gibson says, "Why did Malaya leave you?" He's thinking, shh. Again? I'm supposed to be cleared. You're supposed to think I had nothing to do with anything. That's why he keeps referring to the documents. Because all of a sudden he has something that actually worked in his favor. And we're supposed to forget everything else, right? It's too bad, but
A reality, he says, is becoming more and more likely.
Post any officers they can get at the New Brunswick border.
yeah, all the officers, get the hell out of my area, get the hell away from me. And mind you, there was also the false claim that Cody was in New Brunswick, which turned out to be false. But they added it into the article. Why did they do that? It makes no sense. Why did they put something in there that's history? It's already dealt with. That's over. They told him after a few days, "You are not our suspect. We're not going to bother you anymore. You had nothing to do with it." Yeah, I need to know more about what they went shopping for the day before, or that day on Thursday. But I'm getting different stories. That's when I tune out, usually. I like to have like one. You know what I mean?
PI border.
PI border. Okay, the crying. Go to all the borders. Get away from my house.
And get them at every airport possible.
Yep, look far away.
Martel confirmed that when the two children went missing from the home behind me, Lilly was wearing a pink shirt and pink rain boots. She was also carrying a white backpack with strawberry.
And by the way, you see that picture with the pink blanket or with the pink something in the window? If you can tell me for sure when the picture was taken, that would be wonderful. I need to know for sure. But they said on Friday the blanket was found, right? So if that picture was taken on Friday, then that may be the one part that wound up in the trash. That may be what Daniel removed from the window and put it in the trash. And the fact that he felt the need to call 911. He wanted to convince us it's been thrown out a week before that. A week before. In other words, it could have not been used the night before. In other words, don't look at the blanket. Remember? No, not according to the documents, Brandy. I mean, I don't know. Okay, for those of you who came in later, one more time. And this is the confusing part. May 2nd, 2025, around 4 p.m., when Hayden and Hayden's girlfriend came out of the woods to say they found a pink blanket in the woods. May 2nd, that was Friday, in a tree. And she says, they say Lansdowne Station Road, not Lansdowne Road. Also strange, right? But that's in the documents, guys. So if that is wrong, and there are spelling mistakes in the documents, I mean, that would be just the weirdest thing, wouldn't it be? Because you would think police documents should be accurate. And it says here, they showed the picture to Malaya and Daniel. And I know Daniel denied it with us, or with Daniel denied it, but this says here, Malaya and Daniel, who confirmed the blanket belonged to Lilly. Isn't that strange? Thank you, Sherry. I didn't think it'd be exciting, but this is information just all piling up. I was gonna wait a little bit, and I figured, you know what? I'll forget it, half of it, when I wait too long. It's pretty strange, right? Okay, let me go back and see, now that we know more, what Daniel is saying.
Berries on it. Martel says although he didn't see Jack that morning, he is believed to be wearing a brown shirt, brown pants with a pull-up diaper on underneath, and blue rain boots with dinosaurs on them. He also refuted the claim that the two children...
And that's where I want to have his own statement. Not her telling me what she thinks he said, right? That is what I also encourage everybody to be very careful. When they quote him, yes, that's a good one. That's good. Even in a newspaper article.
Children are nonverbal, saying while they are on the autism spectrum, they are quite trusting.
They're not. And again, did he actually say they're on the autism spectrum? Malaya said possible autism. Again, she might just be making shit up, interpreting. You know what I mean? So always be careful with that. They're not on a spectrum at all.
And say hi to everyone. According to Martel, his side of the family are currently the only ones at ground zero after Lilly and Jack's mother left.
Because your side of the family wants to get rid of the tracks on the pipeline area. Yes, that's ground zero for you. Where ground zero would be the house. But that is the other area, the pipeline area. And yes, some of you think if it was Lansdowne Station Road, maybe it was planted, but the blanket. But listen, I have no idea now. I have no idea. If they make a lot of spelling mistakes, they may also accidentally write down Lansdowne Station Road instead of Lansdowne Road. Okay? So I don't know. But this police document is not the word of God by any means. You would think it should be. Only facts in there. But now, and didn't they say, oh, the person who wrote it isn't proficient in English because French is his first language or something like that? Well, why don't you get somebody whose first language is not only English, but who, you know, made it past school, finished school. So next time, maybe you can get Daniel Martel to write police documents with you. You can hire him as a transcriber if the mill is not working, not hiring, right? Daniel Martel should transcribe court documents. How about that? English is his first language. Seriously, they're not taking this serious at all. This is a game. This is turning into a game now. Yeah, the double exclamation point. A little bit more, and then I stop.
The county Saturday, but still he remains, begging anyone.
But you know what? This is a point where I feel like I have actually remembered these things that I wanted to speak about. And I know it's very, very late for many of you. And I think most of you are going to wind up, oh, now everybody's coming in. Hey, marriages. Yeah, so many. What happens now? Did YouTube give me a push or something? Or what is going on? Should I go a little bit more? I don't know.
To come forward and bring his children home safe.
Anybody who has any information, or you think you've seen something or hear something, or any messages from friends about hearing something, just contact your local police services. And anything, guys, anything.
Ella MacDonald, Global News,
anything. Doesn't matter if it's true or false. Doesn't matter if it's, you know what I mean? Anything to sidetrack. Anything. Wow. Okay, I will. Algorithm, yeah. Anything, anyone, everyone, everything. Absolutely. I searched everywhere. Look, Chris Proudfoot did the same thing. But the moment you talked about him, his wife, and his mama, you can't look there. Everywhere. Where should we go look? Everywhere. What the hell are you talking about? You don't have any thoughts? You would say, okay, here is specifically where has been searched. Here is another area that has not been searched. You would be interested in finding out what exactly did you search? Where have you searched? What have you not searched? What about this direction? Okay, then if anybody, you become an organizer. You will say, you know what? Police said they went too far into one direction already and they stopped. But the 1 in a million possibilities that the kids could have walked, please look there. Anybody? No. Stuck on the damn pipeline. All of them. They called the school bus driver and he asked his wife to come down there. And she drove around with a child and became her excuse, Janie's excuse for not taking the call from Malaya. And Daniel expects us to say, well, okay, the court document or what is left thereof with all the redactions, right? That's good enough. Everything else we need to ignore. Insanity, guys.
Down Station, Nova Scotia.
The search for 2 missing children in rural Pictou County is now into its 5th day, and there's still no sign of 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. The siblings went missing last Friday morning when it's believed they strayed from their home in Lansdowne Station. CBC's Preston Mulligan joins us now live from the search area with the latest on the efforts. Preston.
Good evening, Tom. Well, as you said, yes, as we near the end of day 5 in the search for these 2 young children, sadly, there is still no good news report. The RCMP held a news conference a couple hours ago to give us an update. Basically, there's not much else to say other than the search for Lilly and her brother Jack continues here and around these woods and these deep woods in the Lansdowne area, just about 20 kilometers south of New Glasgow. Now, during that news conference, they did talk a bit about the resources they have in the air that are looking for these children. They talked about how the drones work.
I guess in Canada, you guys mix it up, right? With kilometers and with feet and yards and so on.
They have drones in the sky at night and at daytime. They have infrared sensors that are able to detect heat on the ground. But regardless of the number of drones, the search and rescue officials and the dogs that are combing through the woods, not to mention the helicopters that we hear constantly flying overhead, still no sign of the children. Hundreds of search and rescue personnel from all over the province are still here. Many of them have been called.
Them do a lot of their stuff with the kids. No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day.
Yeah. Now we know where. Let me guess. Let me guess what you're searching for. The metric system, yeah. Oh yeah, you guys all speak French, by the way? Well, 2 languages, yeah. Good night, Sergeant Pepper, 13. And Zach. So
Still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the air.
you know what, guys? I'm going to stop also. I'm going to stop and let it sink in what I've spoken about. And there are still a lot of people. God, now more people are coming. What the hell, man? Where are you guys all coming from? How can I leave now? Jeez, okay. Give me a second. Let's go. Screw it.
Aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated. And I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the searchers are so far out.
And so, Tom, we're just about...
The searches are so far out. What does that mean? Are the searchers now too close to the pipeline area? Are the searchers now in the area where you had more evidence to remove? Is that what you're telling us? They are like 1 kilometer, they are right there by the pipeline where you... Is that what it is? Because that's what I believe now. He was telling us the searchers are too far out. Wait. Crap, man. How can I leave now? I guess it must be the algorithm, right? Or that there's nothing else on. Everybody's gone to sleep. All the YouTubers are asleep. Now people come to me. So you guys, don't let me hold you back, by the way, okay? You can also rewatch later. You can also, you know. Thank you, Rob. It is my call, yeah. No, if you sleep, go to sleep, guys. But let's hear a little bit more.
About a kilometer away from where the command site was, and where that command is, RCMP are leading that investigation, but they're on the search and rescue operation. Running in tandem and kind of parallel is kind of a missing persons investigation that the RCMP is involved in as well. And so as those investigators glean new information based on interviews, maybe they'll find a piece of clothing from home and they'll bring it to the search and rescue site.
Good night, Krista. I understand.
New information, they'll bring it to the search and rescue site.
Can I recap? We talked a lot about Daniel's appearance on Facebook when Callie Gibson asked, why did Malaya leave him? And he told her, shut the F up. He was really, look at the court documents. Even Malaya's, you know what I mean? He wants us to read the court documents 100 times and forget everything that he said. He wants us to forget everything that Malaya said about him picking on Jack and holding her down, taking the phone away from her. He wants us to forget everything, guys, everything. Oh, you're watching about the shooting? I watched it last night. I mean, earlier today I watched this. I saw the one, I guess on Twitter, I saw where they didn't cover it up, where you could see it. I saw that one. Do they have a suspect now in custody? Do schools in Canada have free lunch? Good question. Wow. Was still on the loose? Okay. I know they got somebody, and okay. And they let him go or something like that. 2 in custody were released earlier. Got it. Okay, so Canada has free school lunches. That's good. So if your parents are complete screw-ups who already spent all the money that the government gives them to take care of you, at least, yeah. Got it. The breakfast program. Yeah, Canada really takes care, but a lot of people seem to abuse it, from what I see. I mean, Daniel had it made, man. Working 1 day a week. Yes, Rob. Callie Gibson was the one who caused Daniel to lose his shit earlier. And he accused her of creating drama, trying to discredit. Daniel smoked it all. He smoked all the money, yeah. But at least the kids were able to get something nutritious in school. I'm just watching your chat right now, man. Vapes aren't cheap. Yeah, he's vaping. Yes, Callie. We applaud you, what you did today. Because you know what? Daniel, in his own mind, he thinks, oh, okay, now they're going to leave me alone because of this article. And there comes Callie. And brings it all back up, completely ignoring the BS document that Daniel wants us to pay attention to. Yup. That's what happened. You can go to Facebook, Uncensored, Jack and Lily Sullivan. That's the group.
And then they will modify their search.
Let me see it again. Facebook, here I come. Facebook, here I come. Wait a minute.
How's it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing.
I'm getting some messages here from some of you. Yeah, if they're referencing me, that's cool if they use plaids. Where's Facebook? Here we go. Let me show you. Still up here. So why did my Daniel? I like it because she's completely ignoring all of this BS, the document, the BS citing, all of that. Let's go back to the basic, Daniel. Why did Malaya leave you? Very good. We don't buy into the bullshit. We don't. Oh, you mentioned me. Cool. Yep, when CPS failure results in the untimely non-existence of a child, do not expect law enforcement to do what they have been sworn in to do. Do not expect it. Do not. Hi, Rob Haynes. Where is Daniel? There we go. Callie, shut the F up. He was hugging. Okay, yeah. Belinda was in there as well. And and he said he made the same statement twice about Malaya hugging me and crying on my shoulder right before the first search. How sweet. Belinda has a problem with that because apparently he may have told her something different. My question got some likes, but he did not answer it. My question is, what's the difference between the Daniel she first met and the Daniel you became? And I posted the image. I love her more than anything. You see? That's how I mean, I don't want him to be able to tell me, you're attacking me, you're following me, you are... No, I'm not. I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking a simple question, dude. What did you mean the Daniel she first met? Here he says the kids were hurt and Lilly seen Friday morning. Read the damn documents, Callie. Nope. Nope. That's what he keeps referring to, the documents. Read the documents. If you don't know how to read, I'll read them to you. Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you do a YouTube video? Why don't you do an audiobook on it? I will listen to it during the day. That's what he got going for himself. And that's the only thing. He is avoiding to actually... Let me see what he replies to. Daniel, what really happened Thursday evening? An accident? The kids were hurt and Lilly seen Friday morning. Read the damn documents. He didn't tell us it didn't happen on Thursday. He doesn't say Thursday. He says they were hurt, and it's passive language. The kids were hurt and Lilly seen. He's avoiding to tell you that that was only according to him, his mama, and Malaya. He's trying to make it sound like police has concluded on their own, independently verified it, and they haven't. He's trying to make it sound like the documents are the work of God, avoiding to tell you who heard them and who's seen Lilly. That's why he's using passive language. When somebody comes to me and gives me a false tip, I heard that Daniel was seen at the gas station. That passive language indicates that either A, you didn't hear shit from anybody, or B, you don't want to reveal the source. You don't want to tell me that you heard it on some YouTube channel that's gotten it wrong again and again anyways. Or that somebody in a live chat somewhere stated some crap. Passive language is used for a reason. Why don't you proudly state, me, Malaya, and my mama heard them? Because he wants the documents to shut everybody up. He is happy with these documents, which is why now again, he feels confident to show up. I won. It's in my favor. That's the type of language Daniel is using, guys. And he wants to rub it in. And he gets angry when people disregard it. You want me to ignore every statement that you made before? Yes, you do.
Would convince her daughter to leave the residence instead of staying with her to look for these babies.
That woman has never shed a tear the whole time she was there.
Okay, and that is about, that's Logan, of course, but I kind of want to go back to Danielle, not Danielle, but Daniel.
Adapt their search and sort of fine-tune their search based on what the investigators might find out. But in spite of all of this, after 5 days, still no sign of the two children that we've been told of, and we're told that the search will continue into the night again.
Anything like that?
Uh-oh.
Is covered, they move
It's
on,
cry
and they say it's
time.
important that no one wander in. Incidentally, this search has been the assignment for the Nova Scotia
What was
Provincial
that?
Guard.
Nobody wander in? What the heck is going on here?
This area around Lansdowne have been searched, and once that area is covered, they move on, and they say it's important that no one wander in.
Yeah, it's very important nobody wander in, but it's too late, because on Friday they already wandered in there. Everybody came right there to the pipeline area. And I would like to know what they were asked to do. To walk up and down? To just not, hey, destroy evidence. Some didn't know. Hey, use your ATV and have your child walk around there too and leave some, Oh, don't worry if they leave some prints. Just have your children walk there. Just drive up and down. Yes, it's very important, but it's too late. The evidence was already destroyed.
Incidentally, this search has been the first assignment for the Nova Scotia Provincial Guard. They aren't directly involved in the search, but they're helping with traffic, protection of parked vehicles overnight, and just generally giving directions to people who are coming and going, those involved in the search and rescue effort. Earlier today, we spoke to the partner of the two children's mother. Here's some of what he had to say about Jack and Lilly.
Lilly and Jack are...
Yeah, when I saw this interview first, I already,
Awesome kids, very, very kind. They'll talk to anyone. They want to go with anyone.
Yep. Who's a suspect? Anyone. Anyone, right? Except me. Except me. That is the intention, people. Look everywhere. I'm not committing to an abduction theory, but I'm telling you, look everywhere, everywhere. Look at anyone. The more you look at anyone, the less you look at me. He didn't say they are vulnerable because they're very friendly and very trusting. He is doing more than that. This is seed planting. Anyone. He isn't saying, I'm worried that someone may have picked them up and they're very trusting. He's making sure if it wasn't this person or anybody here, somebody could have driven down here and gotten them. That's also why he says the prints were facing the road. He's trying to lead your mind towards that. He talked about the New Brunswick and the PI borders. He cannot linguistically commit to abduction, which would have been the only possibility, considering they searched a large radius professionally. And if nothing happened in the house, there would be no other possibility than they gotten in a vehicle or somewhere or into a neighbor's house that their neighbor could have gotten them. What other possibilities are there? They looked for shallow graves, right? I mean, and they had to have the technology to detect whatever may be underground as well. So the only possibility would have been they gotten into somebody's vehicle or somebody's house. What else is there? But he doesn't want to address that. He cannot linguistically commit to it because he knows exactly what happened. So he makes it anyone. Anyone as in, give it up. Anyone in Nova Scotia could have gotten Jack and Lilly. Anybody. Where do you look? Anywhere, everywhere. Go waste your time, spin your wheels. Uh-oh, you caught me. And she told us also nobody was watching the kids. And that's where she leaks herself, Janie. She's a very dismissive type of person. So she can't help but saying, you're wrong. How do you know? How do you know nobody's been watching them?
Dinosaurs, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Look straight up into the camera.
Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack, bugs. They're like that.
No, she didn't like bugs. Your mom said she doesn't like bugs. What the hell are you talking about?
Best friends, not just brothers.
Yep. Lily was protective of her baby brother.
Sister.
He says he's also hoping police monitor the New Brunswick border and the airports for any sign of...
Wait, wouldn't the kidnapper be watching them? Yep, exactly. Exactly. At least for a little bit. You see, Janie leaked so much. Protected Jack from Daniel. I believe that's where she developed that scream as well. To get him to stop. Exactly. How does Janie know even who was watching them? If she wasn't even watching? Well, she said she observed them for 2 years.
The two children. But RCMP tell us this afternoon they're not considering any possible abduction here as far as they're concerned.
Yep.
They're looking for two young children who simply wandered away.
BS.
The heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare.
Uh-huh. You're reliving a nightmare. The nightmare from Thursday night, right? It won't stop. You never thought it would be this big. Why would anybody pick them up? Why would anybody want them? That's what he told us, right? Something like that. He can't imagine anybody wanting them. And it's similar to Chris Proudfoot, who was absolutely astonished that so many people are interested in Sebastian. People are interested in the boy. He just wanted to get out of there. And Katie knew it. That's why she didn't care how much meds she gave him, in my opinion. What day was that? Jeez, it's been so long, I forgot. That Sunday night. Right? It can be a fine line between, how you legally categorize something. They wanted him out. So what she did that night was, anyways, I have many videos about that. She's reliving the nightmare because it's dragging out. He keeps saying it's been 6 weeks. It's been too long. He told Kelly Gibson, it's been too long. He needs a break. Hey, Kim. Hi, Kim. Missed you here, but I see your comments. And I talked about the Lacey Peterson thing that you got my attention to. Why she got into shore. Hola muchacha, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa en África del Sur? Wow, I've been doing this I'm still on. Oh yeah, his chain is always out, right? Yeah. Gold over brass, that's what it is. He wants to look good. I think that the first couple of days he looked really bad because he hadn't slept that Thursday night at all. That was one of the reasons. Then he started to care about what he looked like in front of the camera. He wanted to look like the boy next door. The family was ripped apart. Yep. Ripping apart. Also, interesting choice of words. Yeah, I will. I already did a little bit. Mothers in prison, that's how we do it. Yeah. I will check it out. How did that blanket get ripped apart? That's exactly what I want to know. Absolutely. I'm not going to rehash it right now, Kim. There's a lot of stuff that because I'm fading out. I can't believe you guys are still up here. It's cool. But you know what? Like, I would do this before I did my video channel. I would wake up at night and just watch Peter Hyatt for hours. Read his blog for hours. Lose myself. And all of a sudden, the sun came up. And I said, oh, crap. See, when I'm interested in something, I'm all the way in. I was always told in school I have a 0 attention span. And it's true. When I'm not interested in something, I have 0. And then I get obsessed with certain things. But I don't call it that. I simply feel everybody should follow their interest. Because so many people are not interested in anything. And that annoys me. I'm never bored. I've never been bored my whole life. I always am interested in something. And being able to learn something that's interesting is something where, I was forced to learn so many things that are not interesting and not important either. That's why I tune out pretty quickly when I see a link and it's a video and I already know it's not going anywhere. I didn't need to watch the video with that woman who made the claim she saw Lilly. I didn't need to. Couple of seconds and then red flag. That's it. No time. I want to know what is. I don't need to know what isn't. I don't need to waste my time and prove what didn't happen. I want to know what happened. Was it Big Island? Well, I gotten a little bit more into it earlier. Yes, I'm bored when I'm forced to be bored. When I was in school and I was forced to read some boring crap or memorize something that's not important to me. That's when I got bored. It's kind of like feeling alone in a crowd where you don't belong. You know what I mean? That's how my mind felt at the time. Daniel, I read the documents, but I want everybody to remember your statements. And yes, you may never get caught and never be held accountable. But that doesn't mean I need to shut off my mind and say, RCMP said, that's it, not criminal, I was wrong. Give me a break, man. They let you walk there to the pipeline, call all your friends, anybody available, driving up and down, destroying the evidence. That is the mistake the RCMP made. They should have said, we have enough searchers. They're trained in that area. We have the RCMP. All family members hang out on the property. Eat Janie's food. Do not walk out. They said they always investigated with what did they say about it's almost always a criminal investigation when somebody's missing or something. Well, that was just words. Yeah, they suspected Daniel. He told us. But this is just, word gaming. I can't even listen to these people from the RCMP. It just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare.
May 2nd. But
Listen to this. You see what he said right now? You see that? Every day when I wake up, it just feels
like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd.
A nightmare of, pause, May 2nd. He inserts May 2nd. He doesn't want you to think about May 1st, which was Thursday, the night of Thursday. He said Friday twice, Friday morning. He repeats it as much as possible because the more you repeat a lie, the more likely people will believe it. They didn't ask the right questions on the polygraph at all.
But the main feelings from sadness have just turned to anger because there's...
Yeah. Now you're angry because Malaya left you. And she doesn't talk, and now you feel the need to do it alone.
No evidence at all as of after 1 month.
Has just turned to anger because there's no evidence as of after 1 month. That's on his mind, evidence. Not any sign of Jack and Lilly. Evidence. And why would that make you angry? Yeah, what are main feelings? Let's hear this again.
6-year-old Lilly and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan were reported missing Friday, May 2nd, after they wandered out of their Pictou County home. They have not been found after.
Again, they didn't wander out of the Pictou County home. That's why always be careful with news reports unless they're quoting them.
Weeks of extensive searching the heavily wooded area.
Every day when I wake up, it just feels like I'm reliving a nightmare of May 2nd. But the main feelings of from
the main feelings. What other feelings are there, Daniel? Grandel, one moment. Damn, I'm getting tired too. I have too much going on in my head to be bored. Not that one, right? They ripped pieces to put under doors to prevent the cold air from coming into the trailers. Jeez, I'm fading out now. My concentration, my passion keeps me going, but yeah. Or the Missing Children Act. By the sand? Or by the road, yeah. Yes, what are the unmain feelings? Because he wants to avoid telling us the feelings that he really has that will come from experiential memory, that will reveal what he doesn't want to reveal. He's afraid of leakage. So he only goes to the main, superficial ones.
sadness has just turned to anger because there's no evidence at all as of after 1 month. And it's
After 1 month, there is no more evidence, right? After a few days, after a day, there wasn't.
it's really taken a toll.
On Friday,
It's really taking a toll. Okay, great.
RCMP say
On you? Nothing about Jack or Lily. Nothing. What you're going through.
on camera with family the day before they went missing. Police are asking anyone who was on Gairloch Road between April 28th and May 2nd to share their dash cam or other footage with RCMP. Martel says every detail helps and could lead to finding Lilly and Jack.
I'm going to keep fighting for the rest of my life to find these kids.
Yeah, for the rest of my life, because he knows there will be no result. O.J. Simpson said, I will spend the rest of my life looking for the real killers. Didn't Madeleine McCann's parents make similar statements? I will fight until I find them. No end in sight, people. I'm going to keep fighting for. You see, he's pausing. He doesn't want you to know what he's fighting for. He's fighting for his reputation. And that's it. And this is telling us, this is knowledge, that Jack and Lily will not be found, according to his view. It doesn't mean something won't happen where we actually get the answers, but this is how he sees it. for the rest of my life. Nope. You would search until you have the answers, until you find the kids if you think they're still alive. Because your mama, in her heart, in her good heart, knows or believes they are alive, right? So why won't you find them in your life? Because you know. See, with these statements, they're telling us what they know.
That's the only goal I have at this point.
That's the only goal I have at this point.
Haley Ryan, CBC News, Lansdowne Station.
Tonight is about saying a prayer, and we're going to light the way home.
By the way, who is this? Is this Lana? I know Belinda's right here. This might be Lana.
For them?
A paper lantern for 4-year-old Jack, another for 6-year-old Lilly, released into the twilight sky.
Yeah. And mind you, Belinda, to her, it's like, she doesn't think they are alive, but she still follows up on certain things that, just in case,
As a beacon of hope.
Illuminate the path for Lily and Jack. Guide their footsteps home.
One by one, people placed candles, teddy bears, and angels outside the Stellarton RCMP detachment, a growing memorial as many questions are still unanswered.
Investigators remain committed to exploring all possibilities
Bullshit.
surrounding the children's disappearance.
Why don't you speak instead of reading it? They worked hard on that statement, and he got to read it.
We want to thank all those who provided tips and information. Please know that we're fully engaged in finding out what happened.
Please know. Please know. What does it mean when somebody says, please know? It's a little bit much. He doesn't say we are fully engaged. He said, please know that. It's not so different from saying, I know I didn't kill my wife, instead of I didn't kill my wife. Please know. It means believe us. Accept it. This is not a reliable statement. And that's why I said that whenever I listen to politicians, spokespersons, and so on, they are not committed to what they're actually saying. And it also has to be noted. There are times when a law enforcement officer speaks freely and answers questions from the press. And some of them are committed, but usually they just want the public to have a good feeling about them. You know what I mean? And this is something where hey, Black Opal. I'm doing it so long today that I cover all the time zones. Incredible. I saw the other day there was like a 7-hour live. I mean, I didn't watch it, but they had like 4 or 5 people yapping together. That's why I keep reading your comments. Tight hat causes misspellings in the documents. Wow, very tight hat, actually. Oh my God. Yeah, West Coast Canada, I believe you. I think East Coast, everybody already. Yeah, I'm thinking also somebody has footage somewhere, but now I have zero faith in these guys. None.
Until Lily and Jack.
You see, in the beginning, I thought, okay, they want to BS us because they're working hard on something important. Then they talk about the truth verification unit, all the experts. Nope. They're protecting each other, the CPS, in my opinion, allegedly, and speculation. Is that what you say, Kali? Oh, my goodness.
Some family
There he is. I don't know the others.
members of the two children looked on as dozens of community members showed they care.
It's like every parent's worst nightmare. You don't ever
No,
want
it's Brenda McPhee, not Lana.
to have to ever go through something like this. And I think it's good to show them that their community is here for support if they need it.
Search and rescue volunteers have scoured a total of 8.5 square kilometers surrounding the children's home. The latest search happened this past weekend when crews focused on a pipeline trail where a
This is the pipeline trail? Okay.
boot print was previously found. Tell me
Okay, so boot print, pipeline, not Lansdowne Station Road, Lansdowne Road.
What that's been like living here in this community and having to watch this unfold day after day.
It's hard because with Facebook, you're on Facebook every morning, check and see if there's an update.
Not me.
You go to the RCMP site to see if there's an update.
Nope.
And then you hear about searches. Your heart just breaks every time because you pray that today will be the day that they bring them home.
Angela McIver, CBC News, Stellarton.
Todd, Lilly Sullivan and her younger brother Jack were last seen in May, and since then investigators say they've chased down every lead. RCMP confirmed they've spoken with 54 people, conducted polygraph tests, and have received close to 500 tips. But
yeah, that doesn't, I mean, they covered their ass. Look what we did. They had no problem telling us what all they did. You know what I mean? Thank you, Black Opal. Hot rails.
yet, there's still no sign of the siblings. Jack and Lily's stepfather says he was the first to volunteer for a polygraph, hopeful it would help the search and ease public speculation.
I know it would be a big help in the case. And
I know. What do you know?
kind of narrow down.
Kind of narrow down what? To eliminate suspects? Can you linguistically commit to that? I know. When somebody feels the need to tell you, I know, it's a sensitivity, people. My truth. BS.
Maybe some of the speculations and...
That's not what a polygraph is there for. We are not talking about speculations. We are talking about potential suspects to eliminate them, not narrow down some speculations. That's what's on your mind. That's why you took the polygraph. If you truly volunteered, because you knew it was coming anyways. And it would look really bad if you refused. So now you want us to believe you jumped right on it. But you had hope. It would get rid of the speculations. And the speculations are pretty focused on you. Priorities, speculations.
And just provide more evidence.
Daniel Mark.
Provide more evidence? Polygraph doesn't provide more evidence. It can lead you in the right direction, but only if somebody flunks or if somebody gets eliminated, sure. But they asked you all the wrong questions.
Tell says during the polygraph test, he was asked several things, including whether or not he was involved in the disappearance of the children. He says both his cell phone and that of his estranged wife were confiscated and searched by investigators. And weeks of interviews, there still hasn't been a major break in the case. Her stepfather, the silence inside the once busy home is deafening.
Going from a family of 7 to just me, I mean, I have nothing but time to just think.
RCMP insists this is still very much an active investigation. They're reviewing surveillance footage and following digital evidence. But the emotional toll has already left its mark on Martel, including the loss of custody.
To think and worry.
Of his daughter, Meadow.
I haven't even got to see my own kids.
Haven't even got to see my own kids again.
Even Meadow yet. But
they're not missing. They're safe. They're safe from you for a reason. Now CPS is acting. They should have acted a long time ago. Now they're acting. Uh-oh. Too late.
I'm still hopeful. I have supervised visits coming up that are granted by CPS.
The children's stepfather says he's grateful to the investigators and to people who continue to share tips, even if none have yet led to find.
So this is now...
which is what? They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them.
Yeah.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
I didn't kill Lily and Jack.
It's been 6 weeks now since you've seen Lily and Jack. I just want to ask, how are you holding up?
You know what, guys? I think that this beautiful statement from Belinda should be the end of this video.
Fine.
And have they ever given you any information?
No, it's always the same thing.
Which is what?
They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids.
Yeah.
I think somebody hurt them.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
Okay, guys. I'm going to end it now. And please make sure to listen mostly the first 40 minutes of this video. because later because that's where I usually cover the important and new parts. And yeah, wow. See, I'm not going to play that silly song now after this, but I will play it the next time I'm back on. And again, thank you to all of you from so many different time zones: Australia, Canada, South Africa. You know. Good night, people. Black Opal and Kim, have a great day. And everybody else from the time zone where it's daytime. I see you soon.